Hi everyone, Jeff Simon here from SocialFlight, and today we're going to talk about baggage compartments. Now, even though the T-51 Mustang is an aerobatic aircraft, a reproduction aircraft, lots of fun to get in and just tool around the sky, the fact is this is also going to be a traveling machine. And if you're going to travel, you need a place to put your bags. And so that's been designed into the T-51 Mustang in two locations. It's located in the front and it's located in the rear. In the front, it's just behind the firewall. We have this space and we need to actually convert it into a working baggage compartment. Now, the design of the T-51 Mustang, as we've talked about to some degree before, is made through this tubular structure that is the frame, the essence of the structure of the fuselage for the T-51D Mustang. Now, the way that the sheets and the rest of the entire fuselage goes together is that we have these things that we call hat sections. And these hat sections, as you can see here, are shaped like a hat. What they do is they sandwich that material that's part of the frame from the back to the front like this sheet does here, and then the skin goes over in order to form the outside of the fuselage. Now, in the case of a baggage compartment, we don't want just this raw inside. We want another wall in order to have a succinct compartment and in order to provide some structural integrity so you can actually load bags into it. We'll be putting a door in place, hinges, etc. So when we go and we sandwich the structure using this hat section, the challenge is how do you actually go and put a wall on the inside of that? And this is exactly the same as the cockpit is done, because you also need walls on the inside of the cockpit so that's smooth and you're not just dealing with the exterior skin from the inside of the aircraft. And the folks at Titan have come up with a pretty innovative way of handling that. What they do is, in addition to these hat sections, they have this piece of U section. U because, of course, it's shaped like a U. It's just U channel. Now, when we go from inside to out and we go and use this hat section in order to seal and create that riveting surface, we can also take a piece of U section, put that in place, and that provides a flat surface that you can see and that you can rivet to along here without getting into the section that sandwiches the actual frame of the fuselage. And so we're going to have to do that on both the left and the right sides of this compartment because we already have that taken care of on the rear part. That's the work that we did on the number 3 bulkhead, where we used a combination of hat sections and U sections in order to go and put a wall on the front and a wall on the back. So same technique that we're going to be using here. So let's get started. Now, when you build a sheet metal aircraft or pretty much do any work with sheet metal, you're going to end up holding pieces together temporarily before you put the permanent rivets in place. And that work is done with these things, clecos. Clecos are spring-loaded temporary fasteners that allow you to put pieces together, match drill holes, see how they fit, and then hold it until you are ready to put that final rivet in to make that thing happen. And the way that you use clecos is you use something called a cleco plier. And one of our favorite tools from Aircraft Tool Supply are these spring-loaded cleco pliers. Now, traditionally, cleco pliers are just these silver things here with a loose hinge that kind of fall around as you're trying to do it. You try to build up a technique of using both hands to hold it in place while you're doing it. But as soon as we found these spring-loaded ones from Aircraft Tool Supply, our work increased its speed dramatically. It's easy to kind of open up, you can kind of pull it together, put a cleco in place, use it, pop it into the hole, let go, it's open again, it's ready for another cleco, and we can kind of keep a little bit of tension on it and always know what's going to happen with that handle. So just a quick tip, we love these things and wanted to be able to pass the word along. Now that we've put the double wall U channels in so that we can put the sides of our baggage compartment into place, the next thing we have to do is put some support in for the floor of the baggage compartment. And we're going to do that using these angle pieces that we have. We're going to put these into place along the front, the back, and the sides, and then we'll kind of have our overall structure that we can start putting the sheets in for those sides as well as the floor, which is what of course really matters in this. So we've put the floor panels in place temporarily, and this is where we've decided to put our the opening in the side for the baggage compartment. We figure that we're going to be entering and using the aircraft more from the left side than the right side in terms of a natural way to get in it, and so this is where we decided to put both of the compartments are going to be. So we've taken the hull, it's all notched for the supports that we have in the number 3 bulkhead, and now we're going to put it in place and put the supporting structure in that works for the outside skin. One of the interesting things here, again, we're dealing with double-walled construction, and so if we're not going to have a strong door, we're going to need to have some supports around that fill that gap. So let's put it in place. Okay, so now we've created this plate that we're going to use as the doubler. That's going to go right about over here, and then we'll be cutting the actual hole in here that is what we'll see as the pass-through. And so what we'll do is we'll mount this or tape this into place as to exactly where we want it, and then we'll go in from the inside and mark our opening and then make the opening match. Remember, we're not going to see any of these things in the final product. This will all be covered by the skin. This is just going to be the doubler on the inside of the skin. Okay, so now we basically have our structure complete when it comes to our forward baggage compartment. We're not going to do the door until we do the skin, because we want to get that all in place and really make sure we know what hole we're cutting, where it's going, and then how our hinge layup and our latch layup is going to work through the skin into the interior. But the compartment itself is basically done, and we have these really nice formers and pieces that'll make this a finished opening when we're all done, so that we'll be able to throw in bags and other stuff when we go to air shows and see everyone hopefully who's watching our video. So again, for SocialFlight, I'm Jeff Simon. Please go to SocialFlight.com and check out all the events happening near you. That's the reason we're here. And if you go to our YouTube channel, just search for SocialFlight and like it, subscribe to our videos, throw some comments out there. You may win one of these t-shirts. We've been giving a lot of SocialFlight T-51 Mustang build t-shirts away, and we would love to give one away to you as well. So again, it's Jeff Simon. Thank you so much for watching, and blue skies.